Hey there guys, Pinobi here, bringing you my 1 year anniversary special. Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, was indeed my 1 year since my first Pokemon Narrative Wi-Fi battle, and I really have to thank all of you for the support that I've gotten since then. It is really amazing, and I appreciate it so much that I really wanted to have an opportunity for you guys to ask me questions and get to know me a little bit better. And that's exactly what I did with my 6,000 sub special. So thank you everyone who posted a question, and I will address that now. I pretty much separated these questions into 3 different categories: YouTube related questions, Pokemon related questions, and random/other random ass questions. So I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. Hopefully we can get to it all. My mouth is still kind of cut up. Hopefully it doesn't impede my narration too much. I saw a funny comment on my other video someone saying don't chew on glass. that made me crack up. Okay, enough of this. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. Someone first, oh yeah, let me just say, I would take the time to say who asked every single question, but there were so many questions that I really cannot, we'd be here for days if I had to say who asked every single question. So hopefully all your questions do get addressed. There was a few I had to leave out just because I feel like it would offset the mood, but for the most part I wrote down everything here on my little word pad. So let's go ahead and get into it. Why did you use the username The Acoustic Kind? That is a popular question. It got a lot of thumbs up, and most simply, it was just random shit, man. I made my account back in 2008. Obviously, I didn't start posting battles till like a year from, a few days ago. And I type out 100 words per minute. I'm not trying to brag or say that that's fast. To some people, that might be slow. I think it's fairly speedy. But sometimes I just type random stuff, man. And when I needed to make an account just so I could like and favorite videos, that's what flew out of my fingertips. I think that, if I remember correctly, actually, something asked me, one of those privacy questions once, or like, those damn questions where when you register for something, they give you like an emergency question in case you can't remember your password, and one of them had to do with your favorite genre of music, and I remember typing The Acoustic Kind, or Acoustic Kind, or whatever. I don't know why I put the word "the" in front of it. I don't know, but that's just kind of how it played out, and it's just kind of stuck with me ever since. So it kind of grew on me, and I sort of like it now. It's a little weird and random, and I do go by the name Pinobi more than that, but it's whatever. It's my channel name, and it's what I'm sticking with. So hopefully some of you guys like it too. And that brings me to my next question, which is, why do you go by the name Pinobi? The reason I go by the name Pinobi as opposed to just going by The Acoustic Kind or T-A-K or TAC or whatever, is Pinobi is my username on pretty much everything else all over the internet. It's pretty much my general alias on my anime list, on T-Flare, on Smogon, on pretty much everywhere else. It's Pinobi. So in order to keep that, to keep everything straight in my head and to keep everything straight in my subscribers' heads, I wanted to go by one name across the board all over the internet, which is kind of funny because it's a little bit counterproductive since a lot of people sort of know me as a guy with many names, Scott Pinobi, The Acoustic Kind, since I know a lot of other Pokemon YouTubers don't really go by their actual name. But whatever, that's just kind of how it all rolled out, played out, cookie crumbled, etc. Why did I start YouTube? Now, the reason I started YouTube actually had nothing to do with Pokemon. Back in 2008, as I just said, I started a YouTube account so I could view videos, so I could favorite them and like them. I'm a big supporter of the idea of people getting what they deserve. Not like in a karmatic sort of way, but just like, if you do something nice, I just want to recognize your efforts. It's not necessarily to say that people that do bad things are going to get punished, but I just wanted to like videos. That's the short way of saying what I'm going about saying. And yeah, the reason I started posting videos is because I actually was in it for Yu-Gi-Oh at the beginning. I'm on a Yu-Gi-Oh team, and I was on a different Yu-Gi-Oh team before that. I actually am the leader of a Yu-Gi-Oh team now and was before. And we needed to upload videos to our own personal website, and we wanted to host them on YouTube and then embed them on our site, and that's pretty much why I started. Although my quality was so horrible that back then, I've really grown so much, and I'm so happy for, all the people that really gave me the proverbial kick to the teeth and said, "Hey Scott, this is a way you could improve. This is a way you could improve." And I really took that to heart. And I got a new mic. I'll probably end up getting another new mic eventually, but this one is pretty decent, and my other one had such bad static. Big pat on the back to all my loyal subscribers that managed to watch me through that. It sounded like I was chewing on glass. But who inspired me to start posting videos? Now, when someone asked me this question, I assumed that they meant in a Pokemon sense. What Pokemon YouTuber motivated me to start posting battles? And I would have to say that the people that did that, there's 3 of them: MTG Xerxes, Emperor ZNB or Nubs or Zed or however you want to know him by, and Xenon 3120. Those are the 3, the big 3 in my mind that started me out. And I know that there was the Killer Nacho and stuff like that, and I did watch some of his videos as well. But for me, really, when I was searching things on YouTube, Xerxes and Zed and Xenon are the guys that came up for me, and Nacho did too, so I guess you could count him. But he was more of an OU player, and really, Nacho's videos were very well produced. He was the first big guy that I saw using the layouts. I think that there were other people that did it before him. I think Xenon 3120 credited it to somebody by the name of Sebastian K or something like that, who started doing that. I don't know if there was someone before him or not, but regardless, it was pretty much the intense thought process that MTG Xerxes utilizes in his narrations really got me into the game. The way he has these series with his teams was a big thing for me, because using the same team consecutively helped me, because I would think, oh, he's going to switch to this, and then he did it, and I was like, oh, I'm actually learning, because I'm starting to get into his mindset, and he does so well at explaining it that it was an easy transition for me to go from somebody watching the videos to playing the battles myself. So I really have to credit MTG Xerxes for that. Same with Emperor NBZ or Zed or Nubs or however you call him. He just reached 10,000 subscribers, by the way, so grats to him. But yeah, it's just really awesome. He did really insightful narrations, and he still does. And it's funny, because now as a video maker myself, I think quality is really important, and using an emulator and things like that definitely improves your videos. But back then, man, when I was learning the game myself, I didn't give a crap. As long as I could, see the HP clearly, there was no, super fuzziness, I was fine. I mean, I watched Xenon 3120 with his high quality, and I really appreciated it. But at the same time, I could kick back watching MTG Xerxes videos, no harm, no foul. So, I don't know, just something that I randomly thought about. But those are the people that inspired me, I would have to say. So moving on, who is your best friend on YouTube? My best friend on YouTube, I would have to say, is Koopa Kung Fu. I don't think he wants his real name known. Back then he didn't really care. But on his old channel, which was the DJ Fry, he had less than 100 subscribers. I had maybe 200 or so, or a few hundred. And I met him, and he's a really great guy. He did amazing Mario Kart 64 videos, and he still does. And I just really loved his content, and I told him so, and I think he really appreciated that. And I said, hey man, you're really undersubbed. And he didn't really, in my opinion, he didn't think much of it at the time. I think he was just kind of doing it for fun, for the fun of making the video. And from there, I think roped him into the community a little bit more. Instead of, thinking just of making the videos, he thought a little bit more of the community and stuff like that. I don't know, maybe I'm giving myself too much credit, but me and him are great friends. I still talk to him, and, we know each other on a personal level fairly well, and he's just a great guy. So, the next question is, who have you known longest on YouTube? I'd have to say the person I've known the longest on YouTube, in terms of purely just length, is a pro Poke player. his old channel was J Jirachi, or J Jirachi and some numbers maybe, I don't know. But when I had only 20 subscribers, like less than 30 for sure, he sent me a message on YouTube and said, "Hey dude, you want to join my tournament?" And nowadays, when I get those kind of messages, no offense, I think of them as a little bit of annoying, or not really annoying, but just like, I'm not particularly interested in joining the tournament of somebody with a very, very low subscriber count. And that's not because I think that I'm better than them. It's not because I'm saying anything bad about people with low subscribers, because that's not the case at all. It's just that, to be realistic, I think you do need a certain level of outreach to draw enough people into your tournament. I mean, joining a tournament with like 4 people isn't really that exciting to me. So, you know, there's absolutely, like I said, no offense at all, but back at the time, when I was just getting into Pokemon, I was like, oh, a tournament, that sounds like so much fun. So I joined it, and he only had like 60 subscribers at the time, which, you know, is not too much, but where I was at, that seemed like so high. I was like, wow, this guy must be so respected, you know, in the community. And, yeah, I joined his tournament, and I met some other cool people playing them, and I actually got to the finals, and then the tournament just flopped. Which, you know, goes back to what I said. When you have a low subscriber count, no offense, it is hard to successfully run a tournament with a good number of people. It just can be a little bit difficult. So, I think the number one thing to focus on when you're a little bit lower is on your videos, your content. And then start worrying about outreach and things like that a little bit later on the road. Next question, moving on here. How did you get known on YouTube? I guess that's a fair question that relates to what I was just saying. And honestly, getting known on YouTube, I'd say it's a little bit of a journey. I mean, it is. It's not any one thing. I guess for some people it might be, but no one really gave me a huge shout out. No one did an SOS video for me. No one did something like that to instantly get me recognized. It was a lot of little steps, to be honest. I started out, for my first few months, you know, 2, 3, 4 months, I had like, you know, 200-300 subscribers. And that was fine for me. I was so happy with only a few hundred subscribers. I remember when my first video got to 100 views. I was so proud of myself, and I was so happy. Even though it was in such bad quality, and it sounded like static upon static, like, oh my god, it was not very high quality content in the least. But I was so happy and proud that people enjoyed it and people commented, and that's still the same mindset I have today. Comments and likes and support and, you know, all that really means a lot to me. Constructive criticism even is important, and it means a lot. I would have to credit MML Frosty Pixie a bit, though, because even though I don't really converse with her much anymore, at the time when I had about 300 subscribers, she did add me on Skype, and she introduced me to a few people. Like, she introduced me to Mystic Penguin Lover, her boyfriend at the time, who had a few thousand subscribers, and he and I became pretty good friends, actually. She introduced me to Xenon 3120, which was really cool for me at the time, and it's still cool. He's a great guy. And kind of just introduced me to a few bigger YouTubers who I think that I got along with pretty well, and now I'm friends with, and that was just a really cool experience. So thank you to her for that, I have to say. But overall, I think it was just working hard on my own videos. Work hard on your videos. That is the number one thing. I think that if you just have the right mindset and you just maybe ask people for a battle once in a while, but try not to seem like, I don't know how to say it really. Just be cool. Be a nice, chill, normal person. Everyone's a normal person. I mean, well, not everyone's normal, but, you know, everyone's a real person. You know, I shouldn't even say we, but, you know, we're not celebrities. It's not like anybody that has a high subscriber count is necessarily famous or something like that. You know, especially in the Pokemon community. We're all just, you know, normal, chill guys that like to make videos, and hopefully people enjoy them. That's how I see it anyway, and, you know, I don't think I've ever been conceited about my position, so being treated that way kind of irks me, and I know that a lot of other people feel that way too. So, I don't know, that's probably a good tip. Tags are also important. I mean, I found MTG Xerxes and Xenon 3120 and NBZ through their tags, so I would say tags are important. I mean, go ahead, Google or friggin' YouTube search your own name, and if you don't even come up, then what does that say? You know, something like that. Would you prefer posting videos on Ninbuzz or Pokemosh Pit? That is a question I was asked. I would say that I definitely have to side with Pokemosh Pit if it were ever a contest. I mean, I like Ninbuzz. Ninbuzz has supported me. It's been a awesome experience, and I still will, I'm sure, post more videos there in the future. But Pokemosh Pit, I feel like, is something that was forged out of the hands of the community that I work with. Ninbuzz was sort of an established channel that got me into it, and although I'm very thankful to Joe, the person that runs Ninbuzz, I would have to say that, you know, King Daddy D-Mac and Hayden, they're people that come from my community, so I have a sense of pride there, and I know that a lot of the other directors at Pokemosh Pit are my friends. They're people that I've, you know, done collaborations with on many occasions, and I feel like it is just a great cultivation of epic proportions. The Pokemosh Pit is, and I really can't wait to see it establish itself as an empire. So it's going to be interesting. Who is your favorite person on YouTube, and who is your favorite Pokemon YouTuber? So, dang. My favorite person on YouTube, that's such a hard question to answer, to like just point somebody out and say, you're my favorite. But honestly, it would probably have to be Koopa Kung Fu, because, you know, like I've already covered, he's my best friend on YouTube. He's done so much for me. He is the person that made this icon you're looking at, this avatar. He made my old avatar. He made my awesome background. You know, we're just good friends, and he's never asked a thing of me, and I've never really pestered him about anything either. We just kind of do things for each other because we're friends, and that's the way it should be. And he's just a great guy. My favorite Pokemon YouTuber? That is a hard question. Favorite Pokemon YouTuber? Wow. You know, there are a few people that I would have to note here. I cannot just limit it to one. It is just too difficult. Dangerous36M is definitely one of my favorite Pokemon YouTubers. Personally, I know that there's a big difference, and I don't know how many other people really think of the difference, but there's a big difference between being a good video maker and being a good battler. I know some people, I'm not going to name names, but they are extraordinary video makers, extraordinary. But when it comes to competitive battling, I would say that they're average. And then there are other people that I know that are so above average. They are really in the top. They're Rattata. They're Joey's Rattata in this bitch. They're top percentage, and I feel like their video making ability doesn't necessarily mimic or reflect that level of skill that I know that they have. And with their narrations, I don't think that their subscribers necessarily always know, or even if they do, their video making just might not be quite as good as some other people who are not as good at the game. And I totally forgot the question. My favorite Pokemon YouTuber, Dangerous36M, right. I feel like he's the perfect blend. Because he's, in my opinion, one of the best in terms of skill. I feel like he's one of the best battlers on YouTube. I think he's very, very skilled, very talented. You know, him and I made teams together for Scott and Rick vs. the World, and I've gotten to talk to him a lot. We're good buddies. He's probably one of my best friends here on YouTube as well. You know, he's just a really great guy, and we disagree about some things, and we have a few differences that are difficult to deal with, but he's an amazing guy, very, very skilled battler, very skilled video maker. I love the way he conducts his channel. just very, very solid. I have to say, really amazing. Another person definitely noteworthy here is the Flaming Spade. The Flaming Spade is an amazing guy as well. I love, love, love the way he edits things. His background is hilarious. You know, his Probo Pass April Fool's joke I found simply hysterical. His edits in general to his videos always cracked me up. And, you know, both he and Rick have, I think, good narrating voices. They do definitely have accents, but I think that they're pretty sexy accents, gentlemen. No homo. But, you know, they're great guys, both of them. And another person I would have to say I definitely have to credit as a great YouTuber is Xenon3120 for sure. He taught me a lot about the just Pokemon YouTubing in general through his videos. His SOS projects, I really like them. I think it's a great way to share support in the community. I've talked about it with some other people, and some people don't really feel the same. And I think that's a shame, man. It's a shame because there are so many people that deserve support. And I feel like there are a couple people that I'm not going to name names again, but I feel like there are some people that don't want the little guy to get bigger, you know? And that's not me. That's not me at all. So I'm a big fan of that. Also, his SO videos. I mean, I know that some people bash Xenon, you know, because he loves originality so much. And, you know, there's some people that admit that I don't even know where this came from, but there's like some sort of saying that's like 6-0 so what or something, and it has to do with who cares if you're getting 6-0'd? It's all about fun, you know. And I think some people forget that. And I can't completely agree with that because I do take the game seriously and I do take it competitively. But I do think that originality, there's nothing wrong with originality. I think originality is something that should be dabbled in. If you're a newer player, as Smogan recommends, and as a lot of other people would back up, I do think you should use standard sets if you're new. It'll just teach you the game, I think, at a much quicker pace, at a much more reliable level. You know, try to be original once you know what makes a set good. I don't know. It's weird to say. I'm not going to try to act like I'm better than anyone else, so I'll leave it at that. But, you know, I just think originality is cool, and Xenon's a great guy. So Xenon, Rick, Spade, those are three of the best in my book. There are many others. I mean, there's a lot of great guys on my wall, you know, and stuff like that. I'm not trying to exclude anybody that I know is, you know, the balls out shenanigan awesome. And, oh yeah, one more person I guess I should definitely add to that list, is Shofu. Shofu, man. I didn't watch his battles much before 5th Gen rolled around. Hardly at all, to be honest. But his language just really makes the battle so much more enjoyable to me. I know some people don't like it, but I think that's a minority, no pun intended. Really, it's just, his language just cracks me up, you know? He just says funny things. The way he conveys his emotions and things that appear in the battle just really make it much more entertaining to me. So, moving on. What are some of your favorite YouTubers, not Pokemon related, since I just covered Pokemon? Sure, I think that's a fun question. I think it's cool for you guys to know who I'm subscribed to, who I'm interested in. So let's just go ahead and get on with it. Husky Starcraft is one of my favorite YouTubers that is not in the Pokemon, you know, scene at all, obviously. He is just a great guy. Him and HD, I believe, are two of the founders of the game station, if not the founders. And I just love StarCraft. I'm a big StarCraft 2 fan. I don't play it personally because I don't really have time with school and then playing Pokemon and doing Yu-Gi-Oh! And all that kind of stuff. I don't really have the time to play StarCraft at a competitive level myself. But I understand the metagame, and I have a lot of fun watching shoutcasts. So I hope that I can be something like that to people that don't have the time to play Pokemon but still enjoy the competitive scene. So that's just a really cool thing to me. And another person I have to definitely note in the StarCraft community is Day9 TV. He is amazing, man. He actually really reminds me of my best friend in real life. They're very similar. They're similar styles and stuff like that. My best friend's not quite as funny as Day9, but I really just love Day9's stuff. For those of you that don't know, I mean, there are probably people that don't watch StarCraft that are lost here, but he's just a really, really funny guy that does something called quote-unquote Day9 Dailies. And it's him doing StarCraft 2 coverage, and it's really amazing, and I definitely love it. I'm subscribed to a lot of other StarCraft 2 commentators, like Blizz Shouter, HD StarCraft, obviously, Anaris, Psy StarCraft, but my favorites are Husky and Day9, I would have to say, for sure. Moving on to some other favorite YouTubers, I would have to credit Epic Mealtime, for sure. I was in Epic Mealtime's, first 100,000 subscribers, which I thought was kind of funny or cool or something. I don't know. I'm slightly fanboyish, but not really. But Epic Mealtime's just a really cool internet cooking show series. Their language, similar to the way that I enjoy Shofu's commentaries, they have really funny language. Next level meat cage apparatus. That's a quote from there that I just love their use of language. It's really awesome. Other YouTubers that I'm subscribed to that are really awesome. Why don't I go check? That would make things easier, right? I don't want to leave out some badasses. I'm subscribed. Oh, The Atheist Experience. I love The Atheist Experience. I try not to flood you guys' boxes with me liking all their stuff, but I'm a big fan of The Atheist Experience. Kurt Hugo Schneider, I listen to him and Sam's music sometimes. There's a guy by the name of Gator Guy 108. He does Yu-Gi-Oh videos. He's not very well known, but I really enjoy his videos. Believe it or not, Michelle Fan, me and one of my friends sometimes I'll watch her makeup videos, and we usually find stuff to laugh at. We do our own little commentaries about that, and we find it pretty funny. Let's see if I can find a few more. Yokorama Game Talk. He does anime and manga reviews and stuff. He's a good buddy of mine. I'm subscribed to him. Unknown Drummer Kid. He does some funny, cool little videos that I enjoy. Tyler Oakley. He's a guy that does vlogs and stuff, and I just find him really entertaining. Josh Sundquist. He's a guy that does a bunch of cool stuff. He lost his leg. He was like he's a Paralympic skier and stuff like that, and he has a lot of fun stuff to bring to the table. Shofu TV for their random shenanigans. All that stuff. Remy Gilliard. I love Remy Gilliard's stuff. And yeah, those are some of the people that I'm subscribed to outside of the Pokemon community that I think are really awesome. And enough of that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next question. Wow, we're almost at half an hour. This is going to be in a couple parts, I'm sure. Why do you and Spade love each other so much? Man. Who do you think the 3 most underrated / undersubbed Pokemon YouTubers are? This is a really great question, and it was asked by someone that he himself is pretty underrated. I think his name's Lyrics HD. There might be some X's or something in there. He's gone through a lot of different channels, I know. I'm going to say that a few undersubbed people that I particularly know about would have to go ahead and be I Am the Ty. I just did an SOS video on him. He currently has 430-ish subs. He's a great, great guy. I love his commentary so much. Another person would have to be Tony Flygon, previously known as Flygon with like the 7 and the O. He got hacked. He used to have a little over 1,000 subscribers, maybe 1,500, I don't know. But maybe he even had 2K, I don't know. But he got hacked, and he just restarted up, and he has like 400 subscribers-ish, 400 or 500. He's an amazing guy. In my opinion, Tony Flygon is one of the most skilled battlers on YouTube. I think that he is better at the game than the majority of people. He's a very talented player. Another undersubbed guy, I'm going to have to say Kotes1616PB. He had a battle with Blame Truth, which got him a little bit of outreach, and he has like almost 700 subscribers. But I really enjoy his style. It's very similar to MTG Xerxes, in my opinion. His style, his insight, the way he narrates is similar to Xerxes. But he uses an emulator and things like that. And I just really like his stuff. And he has almost 700 subscribers, and I think he's just as good as any of these guys with thousands of subscribers. Same with I Am the Tie. Scissorp also, he almost has 1,600, which I guess isn't really I mean, it is undersubbed. I think he deserves more support, but it's not like he's, under a rock or something. People know who he is kind of by now. What's the best thing you've done on YouTube? That's a really difficult question for me to answer, and it's a little random to me. I guess the best thing I've done on YouTube is it's actually probably the best thing I've done on YouTube is probably the outreach that I've tried to help give to other people. Talking with the DJ Fry and getting him bigger in the community back before he was Koopa Kung Fu, I think was awesome, and it introduced me to such a great friend. And helping out Scissorp, who I think has such great video making ability. I did an SOS video on I Am the Tie, who certainly deserves so much more support. That's probably, I guess I would say, the best, quote-unquote, best thing I've done, just because it really, it validates to me the time and effort that I've spent making all these videos, because I know that, it's done something. All this work that I put in, it really is a lot of work. You can ask anybody that makes consistent videos. It takes time, effort, dedication. You do have to sacrifice things, and I can already feel my voice starting to go. We have got a long way to go, but I have to say that's probably the biggest thing. So let's see. How would you suggest I get some of my friends into Pokemon battling? I guess I should have put this in the Pokemon section, but I'll just go ahead and answer it real quick. I think that I guess it relates to YouTube, really. The best way I can think of to get someone into Pokemon battling, if you think that they're genuinely interested in it, but they just don't know it, because there are a lot of people that do not understand the complexity of the game, I say the best way is to show them a Pokemon narrated Wi-Fi battle. Honestly, I'm not just saying that for self-promotion of what I do or what my fellow video makers do, but that's what got me into it, so that's the best advice I can give. I would definitely recommend, pretty much anyone that does narrations with decent audio and video quality. I think that would be very beneficial for people to learn from. So, yeah, if they're gonna learn 5th generation, if you're talking about black and white, I would recommend Wild Chase and Shofu the most, probably. Those are the guys that I watch for 5th gen the most. I mean, Dangerous 36M does a little of everything, so, he does 5th gen too. And the Flaming Spade actually also does 5th gen, now that I think about it. But I always think of Rick and Spade more as, like, fun guys. I mean, they're good at the game. I already said I think Rick's one of the best. But their channels just seem so lively and community-driven and interactive. And I think if they're just there to learn the game, I would actually probably say Wild Chase might be the best. But Wild Chase is so good at the game that sometimes I think he doesn't explain things to where someone that doesn't know anything about the game would get it. So maybe MTG Xerxes, back to where I started, might be a good place to start. I know some people in the community don't particularly like him as much, but I think he's awesome. And I suppose that just about wraps up the YouTube portion of your guys' questions, and it's been a little over half an hour, so I think I'm going to cut this video off. And wow, I realized no one really asked a question that merited this sort of response, but I feel like I should add it because it's something that I'm thinking about. Is that King Daddy DMac, I would actually have to say, is one of my favorite YouTubers as well. I haven't really watched his videos as much because, admittedly, he hasn't posted as much lately. So he was a little out of my thought process when thinking of who are my favorites. But he has done so much for the Pokemon community, it's a little bit ridiculous. I think that he does so much behind the curtains, behind the scenes, that people do not give him the credit that he deserves. I mean, Hayden has as well, but to a lesser extent. I think even he would admit that. And that's they've made Pokemosh Pit. They've helped it out. They've done so much networking for it to help the entire community. I know that some people think it only helps the big guys, but that's not true. You know, it's not like I'm gonna dedicate this video to talking about that, but you know, it really helps the whole community. And I definitely have to give him a big pat on the back. So that's it for this episode. Sorry for the random tangent. I think I'm going to go get a glass of water and move into part 2. So hopefully you guys will join me, and peace out.